Hello, fancy seeing you here, and welcome to episode one. Episode one
One.
sounds really weird, doesn't it? Say that. Welcome to episode one of The Game Won't Play Itself. Now you know me by now, but if you don't, if you're new to me, to hearing this voice, these dulcet tones podcasting to you, I'm Will McKellar, aka Lard Teammaker, and joining me once more, is my what partner in crime, double act member, co-host, co-owner,
Technical specialist.
technical specialist, because I don't have a damn clue what I'm talking about. It's James Atkinson.
How we going, guys? Glad we got things up and running. It's
Yay!
totally working now.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, no, live. So, welcome to the show, I guess. It hasn't crashed yet, and so we're gonna try and run a show, talk about some things, do some E3, do some kind of cool other stuff,
Yeah,
and pray to God my internet holds up.
and also potentially give this away to someone who not only has an Xbox and not only needs Halo 5, but they make us laugh or do something interesting, make us go, hmm, that's interesting. I like that.
Exactly.
When you do that, you're getting this. But apart from that, the main reason we're here, the main thing we've started doing, this is the new era for James and myself. And so, what better way to start it off than by talking about one of the biggest expos still going, even though people have gone, well, it's not quite as important these days. E3. Now, big first question is, did you see any of it?
Me?
Yeah.
Even though I was on vacation, I was busy doing things, and so not really a whole lot. I swear I did some research 5 minutes before we started.
Did you poke your wrist and go, oh, that looks interesting, that looks
It was
interesting?
just,
Maybe.
I mean, I know about the big things, and the most of it. I know that the Xbox is coming out with like four systems.
It feels like it, doesn't it? And they
Yeah,
probably weigh a brick each one. So, I pity the poor bugger at a store that has to carry them.
exactly. No, it's just, there's all of these Xbox things coming out. I know Sony didn't t say anything, but The Last Guardian finally has a release date. So that's a thing. That's totally a thing now. And I'm probably gonna buy a Nintendo Wii U just to play Legend of Zelda.
I don't think you had to with the amount of time they showed of Legends of Zelda on that
I
screen.
know. It's like Zelda, Skyrim, and I don't have to mod it.
And Witcher 3 from the sounds of it, the content.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's the PG version of The Witcher.
Yeah, because I could say what? Yeah, no, not even a hint of cleavage on that one.
No, 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 no. It's
There you
it's the
go.
PG version of The Witcher. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So episode one, totally a thing now.
And also the big key word that was going around a lot of the press conference was modding. Because
Yeah,
you
modding.
heard it in the Xbox one for Skyrim, as well as Bethesda. You heard that for PC
Right.
Gamer one, all over it. It's every 5 seconds. Old Sean Plotter, mod. So that seemed like the buzzword this year. Mr. Smith there with the early runner. Do you want to say it or shall I?
No, you got this, man. You got
Okay.
this. I'm still working on some technical things in the background here.
Right, Zelda Rim sounds like a porno.
Uh,
Straight in there. There's the early front runner for that one.
we don't even have like Nightbot or anything started yet. Hopefully the chat just doesn't get too out of control.
Well, Oh wait, we don't. Do we have mods?
No, I'm here. I don't even know how to ban people. I'm just gonna let people say what they want. Worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna
Yeah, we can ignore them
we can ignore them.
because hey, we're the ones with the microphones here. We haven't worked out getting that Discord working yet, so there.
Yeah, yeah, no. I figured baby steps. Let's at least go through an entire stream and not crash it.
Yeah, let's get viewers first, and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there. But speaking of going from there, shall we make a start on the press conferences, considering that's why we're here talking rubbish?
Sure. Let's talk on the press conferences. I'll you lead the way and I will throw in a profane comment every once in a while.
Right. Okay.
So,
Well,
so the usual.
yeah.
The
It's
bog
like
standard.
it's like we never left, isn't it?
I know, it's like we never left.
It's just those other people that left us.
We've been doing this all along. I don't know what other people say. We've been doing
Yeah.
this all along.
It's just yeah. We've been actually doing this normally. This other people haven't heard it or recorded it or anything like that. So
Exactly.
So yeah. But yeah. So we'll start then with EA. Something that it's a little bit of a you know, bit
Yep.
cut stuck in my throat because of EA Play. I mean, not going down there because of their screw up. EA, I'm looking at you. All right. So yeah, I didn't get to play Titanfall 2 and I didn't get to play, Battlefield 1. However, we did get to see some stuff like Titanfall 2, we did see.
Yes.
It
Eh,
it looks more Titanfall, but it's confirmed for the PS4 and there's a single player.
Weird. First person games don't get single player anymore. That's not a thing.
But yeah, well, actually, that seemed to be the other thing of this E3. There seemed to be more single player stuff around, apparently, from what people were saying on the show floor. Which it does actually make a change, considering it for years it's been the let's co-op, let's go online, and
Yeah,
let's
who needs a single player anymore? Who needs split screen multiplayer? Everything's done online. Everybody has an internet connection. So
it's
it's
it's up there with bare ankles, Mr. Smith. You just don't see it these days. But yeah, so it's coming out on October 28th, which you can go to titanfall.com if you want to sign up for a stress test. But I also believe it's coming out a week earlier on EA Access.
maybe,
Maybe.
maybe.
Eh,
Oh, isn't it coming out around one of the other big boys that's heavy hitters that too?
Yep, it's coming out a week after Battlefield 1.
Mmm.
So from the same conference, they said that the Battlefield 1 was coming out on October 21st, which does look badass. You can blow up airships. You got your big plane battles there as well with biplanes. I wonder if they have the Red Baron in it or Biggles.
Biggles?
You know, Tell her, I'm just going to go shoot down some Jerrys.
Yeah, I was watching this, some people actually record and stream some, and it's like, we're losing objective Charlie, Delta, and then they're like Frank, like Frank, objective Frank? Is that what they called these things? Man,
Yeah, it's just like what the? I have no idea on it, but it does look good. And if it's anything like Battlefield 4, there's going to be a lot of playtime on that one.
yeah, I mean, it looks great. The problem is, in the one, I guess this is me kind of looking at things being a little bit of a historian thing, is like, there seems to be still a lot of automatic weapons in that game. Like I know submachine guns were a thing later on in the war, but it seems like, there were a lot of guys running around with submachine guns and it was more kind of like a battlefield where I was expecting more kind of like the traditional like trench warfare kind of thing where you've got to kind of sit and wait out artillery and then kind of do your charge. But the bayonet charge looks freaking amazing.
Are they going to do the Christmas DLC where you go play football in no man's land?
Exactly. That's FIFA. That's FIFA. Didn't you hear? That's like when they released FIFA, and that's like the Christmas DLC for Battlefield, where you just go out and just kick up a soccer ball.
But they are using the Frostbite engine. So that's like the special unlock in the Premier League bit.
Exactly. No, no, it's like hey, yeah, it's the total it's the total package there, and we're just gonna get it all in it. I'm waiting for the DLC, the All Quiet on the Western Front one, where it's like you just carrying your buddy home on your back for like 2 hours.
Just do nothing. Just like shh, they're there. Shh, shh. Now
Yep,
run, peg it, and yeah, stick 'em with a point at the end.
exactly.
Bayonet warfare. So
Bayonet warfare.
Or you got that, special bit at the end of Blackadder Goes Forth, where they just go over the top in a little slow mo bit as they're all dying.
So we've got, yeah, they
Mhm.
talked Titanfall. I mean, EA, there's another Madden coming out.
Yeah, another FIFA. Yeah, Mass Effect they showed a bit more of, but again they didn't show much more because they're gonna do more news in the autumn over here or fall.
Yeah,
No.
Mass Effect was more like, here's all the people that did Mass Effect, more than here's the actual stuff about Mass Effect. It's like, okay, you're going to the Andromeda Galaxy. Great. More?
Yeah. So where's Commander Shepard? Why has he been put away
Oh
to
no,
keep his sex
Shepard's
bed?
done.
Yeah.
He's either a Reaper, not a Reaper, or yeah, we don't really know. It all depends on what color you chose at the end of that game.
Yeah.
So,
Is that before or after they decided to change it because of the bitching online?
uh,
Because
I
I
got
never
my own.
played the new ending.
I got my own things to say about that. Is that it just
Say the forums
I
here.
think mm, with that's a different show. That's a completely different show.
Oh, that's going to be one of our specials when we
I
release it.
I do have one gear to grind with it though. They brought back the fucking Mako.
Yeah.
They brought back the Mako. That is the worst part of any Mass Effect, that it was so bad that it was gone for 2 games. Like they purged it out of your mind. So much so where they made it like your landing sequences be your loading screen. But they brought it back. I hope they got somebody from like Forza 1 or like one of the driving companies to like get in on this thing and be like, okay, teach us how to actually do driving or rally sport. God, a rally sport driver, because if not, I hope it's just not total shit like it was the last time.
Mako done by Codemasters.
I can only hope. There's your mini game. There's a mini game for you, and there's some DLC for one of the 8 million driving games the Xbox has. It's the Mako DLC, and it'll have like the best acceleration, but it'll have just the shittiest handling. You'll overturn it like it's nothing.
You've got Garrus as the co-pilot. So 40 left. Where? What left? There's no corner.
Just drive through the forest. It's a tank.
Bump ahead. It flies off.
Yeah, you just float. Hit those little jets as you go. It's like, how did I run out of propellant at like this high of a level? All of a sudden, propellant, no propellant, propellant, no propellant, pellet, propellant, no propellant. Fuck that. It's the worst driving part of the thing. So,
They probably had to bring it back for the new generation because somewhere probably someone go, but I liked it. It was great.
that it wasn't that good. Don't need to bring it back.
And I mean, the only other two bits that EA showed was Star Wars montage of games, but they didn't actually show which one was which. We know Visceral are making another Star Wars game.
Yeah, did
Uh,
you hear they also announced the sequel to Battlefront?
yep,
Already announced that one.
and the actual DLC because you can actually play it for free for a couple of days around E3. It's like,
It's
okay,
just
it's more the
didn't
same.
this game come out like not that long ago and wasn't good? And now people are like, "Good, we're making a second one, guys." It's like, great, but why not just make DLC for the one you got?
Yeah, and just have it expanded and actually have the Death Star battle in begin with.
Can't you see
Damn
Dice is busy?
it. Yeah, they got other things to think about.
Yeah, like World War One.
Yeah, I mean, they got to make that look good. That just sounds wrong to me. You got to make a war look good. It's like, have you got the body parts and just the distressing scenes just down right? Yeah, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
How's the sepsis? Did we get the sepsis right?
Yeah.
Did we get the sepsis right?
Have you
How
got the
about the
color of the
bone
mustard
sauce?
gas? No, you got that right. Brilliant, fantastic. Let's release it.
I wish Mr. Smith, you're right. I hope there's a KOTOR coming out, but now that Disney's got a hold of that IP, it's fair game. It's the same thing that happened with the Dawn of War. Once THQ folded and that IP became things, you started to get some games that came out that are really cool and really fun, and some ones that are not so great.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, I won't hold my breath, especially if it's anything done with EA, because make sure you've got $100 ready because you're going to pay 60 for the game, and then the other 40 on the rest of the DLCs to play the entirety of the game.
Yep. Good
Because
old EA, eh? Only give you half the thing. Or the
yep,
wrong thing, as in tickets to the wrong country. I'm not bitter in any way, shape, or form.
not better, not at all, not
Not at all.
a little bit. Little bit,
Well, maybe a smidgen. Like a
smidgen.
little smidgen.
We'll take a smidgen. Smidgen's
Smidgen. But the one good thing that I did see on the EA one was Zoink Studios. Now you'll remember this from back in day when I did a review for Zombie Vikings
yes,
on
I do
some
remember that.
other place back in day. But yeah, so they are doing a game for it's called EA Originals. Now EA Originals is their indie arm now, where they help fund developers for indie titles. And they said that all profits are going to go to that company so they can reinvest and make more games and keep going. And the first one is from Zoinks, and it's a fee. It's like a platformer,
Right.
and you're like this little animal. And to connect with other animals and plants, it's like via a musical language that you have to learn. And as you learn this and go through, you'll notice that the thing that comes against you is a thing called the silence. It's like these weird black creatures that just corrupt everywhere. So that's what you're fighting against. But it looks really good.
Like I said, that was part of the conference I didn't see. So
Yeah.
it's like a platforming when connect plants to other plants kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's more of a 3D platformer rather than the side one.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more that way for it. But it looks fairly limbo-ish.
Okay.
It's one thing to have a look at, and basically, if you can online, do so. Because it's one of those games that looks like it could be really good, better than Unravel, I would say.
Ooh, shots fired.
Because well, I liked the theory behind Unravel, and Yanni was such a cute character. The story itself was hollow. Actually, Mr. Smith has got that right.
Yeah.
Right, worrying like Journey with animals and plants, because Journey was with the whole Westall bits, wasn't it? Because you never understood who you were talking to, or in fact who you were talking to. Because I found out I talked to three people that helped me along during the bit, rather than just one. It's like, oh, that's clever. How the hell did they transition? So yeah, that was EA,
Yeah.
and then we moved on to Bethesda, and they started out with um, another big gun they're bringing back, Quake Champions, which is again competitive arena style first person shooter. Apparently, they're going to try and make it for all people of all skill types because they want to do something, and this is something that they mentioned with Madden, which we didn't touch on. They wanted to try and do like different tournaments for different people's skills. So, for people like me who on some games just can't hit a barn door, even if it's open and I'm standing right next to it with a big cannon, the novice tournament, I actually might do well in. And then he goes right up to the real professionals who just sit there all day playing it, which is pretty cool. Because like Madden one, EA are going to do a tournament all year for like championships, like world championships.
Hmm.
There's going to have four majors, and the prize pot is going to be about $1 million. So they're really pushing for esports and the competitive online stuff of
Yeah, I was
his.
gonna say when I did hear about the Quake announcement, I immediately went, well, Bethesda's joining the esports gambit now, because if they're making Quake, that was like the one of the original esports games,
Yeah,
one of the big boys.
because it was that and Doom really that paved the way
Hmm.
for the stuff we have now. I mean, so it needed to be brought forward, didn't it?
Yeah.
So what's next year? Unreal Tournament,
Mm.
because we haven't seen that in years.
No, we have not seen that one in years, but that it'd be the perfect time. I mean, heck, it's got a game engine named after it.
Yeah, so that's one thing to look for. So they said more stuff will be happening about this at QuakeCon, which was kind of again an overriding theme for the show. Because it seemed like they just wanted to give away hints rather than go, here's a load of stuff you want to see right now, rather than come to QuakeCon, we'll show you more bits. All right, ding.
Yeah. This is our conference because we said we'd do a conference, but we really want you to come to our own con where we can talk more about this stuff just about us.
Yeah. So it's like, and speaking of them, they did a bit last year. Remember the Bethesda conference last year when they was on about the Legend Elder Scrolls Legend card game?
Yeah, I remember that conference.
So they basically show more of that, and they actually start showing graphics, and it's like a two card tier system when you're
Hmm.
playing on the screen. You can sign up for the beta if you go to Bethesda.net for this. And again, they showed a lot of stuff, but didn't really talk about it in terms of abilities and how you play it. So it's something that I think they're still working on big time to try and
Okay.
work out because I think they're using the community to try and sort out all the kinks rather than themselves going, yeah, we got this, we need to stress it.
All right. So they're going to be working on so the balance is that they're basically going to let people go in, just break it, and then they're going to balance it based off that. Yeah, so
Yeah,
the good old fashioned Magic the Gathering style of working out the cards.
yep, pretty much. Um, they also we'll keep with the Elder Scrolls stuff because it's they went a bit all over the place with it. But you got Skyrim Remastered is coming to consoles on the 28th of October. You are getting mods on the consoles. So, yeah, when the
When did Skyrim come out?
that was back in the PS3 days, wasn't it? Yeah, it was back way back in the PS3 days.
I'll tell you. So Skyrim came back out in November 2011.
Hmm.
So congratulations, consoles. Only took you 5 years.
Yeah, now you
Five
can.
years to catch up to PC.
So now you can finally play as the Macho Man Randy Savage Dragon.
Yeah, with the Thomas the Tank Engine dragons, chewing with the Randy Savage voice.
There seems to be a theme here, which we'll get onto a bit. Speaking with mods like that, because they also was on about the Elder Scrolls Online, which includes a mode called One Tamriel, where all players are leveled to the content of the world, so you can all play together on all the quests. So there's no real one you can go, oh, I can't do that quest, I'm too low. It's also out in the autumn/fall. Um, and also, online's coming to Japan in June 23rd, so next week. There's
Like,
also some new DLC for Elder Scrolls as well, which is out now.
so if you still play Elder Scrolls Online, all five of you,
Yeah, good luck.
good on you, man. Good on you. I'm glad you're doing. Stay the course. Stay strong. And gotta love that DLC. I'm interested to see how Elder Scrolls does in an Asian market. Because normally you see a lot of the kind of the free to play MMOs that come out are usually nothing like a Western MMO.
Yeah,
So I mean,
that's
and this is like an Elder Scrolls Skyrim would be really considered to be a Western RPG.
mm,
It's kind of defined the genre. So I'd be interested to see how well it actually does.
yeah. So it's one of those rare things, though, isn't it, where an RPG goes across Japan? Because
Yeah,
how
it goes the other way.
mm,
Goes the other way. It usually comes from a Western side and goes to Japan versus
because there's normally been such a market for Japanese RPG, especially in the States with Atlas when they were bringing some load of it out.
yeah. I mean, even before them, Square when they were bringing it, those were JRPG.
Hmm.
I think they coined the phrase.
Yeah,
But yeah, I haven't. You don't really see too many RPGs go Western. I think the last major RPG that stuck was WoW. But then again, WoW is everywhere.
yeah. It's like this virus that you go, bloody wow.
Yeah, no, you gotta. Sometimes you gotta kick the habit, and sometimes it just comes right back.
Yeah, but just don't sit there. I've got to give him a wow fix.
Yeah.
And speaking of RPGs, the other one they were talking about was they were talking about more Fallout 4, which you might like this news. Yeah. Um, they were mentioning more DLC, including contraptions, which lets you add machines like conveyor belts or armor and weapon racks, so you can look at your guns and go, what one should I go today to kill some rad things and death claws and stuff. You've also got Vault Tech, which, like the Fallout shelter, you can build your own vault. in Fallout 4 now, which looked pretty cool, to be fair. That's out next month. Then you've got like a Nuka World, which is a theme park.
They're
Yes,
really pushing this whole building thing, aren't they?
yep, yes, they are. They've also got new Fallout Shelter update coming with new enemies, characters, quests, and it coming onto PC rather than just on your phone and tablet.
Okay, so you can, while you're playing Skyrim or Fallout 4,
Hmm.
the same game, right? Totally the same game.
Yeah,
While you're playing Fallout 4, you could be playing Fallout Shelter at the same time. Probably on your Pip-Boy, like some of us have,
maybe.
maybe. Maybe both of us have,
Yeah,
maybe.
at some point before I went. Yeah, I can't be asked playing it because I just got bored very easily of Fallout. I'm sorry, you know, it just didn't do anything for us. So yeah, so there was that. We've also got actually I'll tie this in with the next bit, but Fallout 4 was also shown as part of Bethesda's dabbling into VR. So you'll be able to play Fallout 4 in VR next year, as well as Doom has a sort of look around option on there. So you should be able to play Doom in VR, which is pretty nice, to be fair. Because that looks really stunning. Because the other news that they came out with Doom was that, again, it's like Fallout. They haven't really said anything big. It's just new snap map updates, including single player options, so you can start you're making levels, a bit like Time Splitters 2, with a map creator, which was pretty cool. You've also got new multiplayer modes coming, but they're mostly free. You've got a paid DLC coming called Unto the Evil, which has a new demon in it, which is the big main news story coming from it. So if you love Doom, which I'm hearing all sorts of good stuff, and I will be streaming it once I've got The Witcher 3 and Dark Souls 3 out of the way, it will be on to Just Cause 3 and Doom. That's my main ones to get my teeth into. So
Getting all the threes out of the way, right?
yeah, it's just like it's a magic number, man. You just got to push them out of the way. And then next up, oh yes, another classic that they rumored in sort of like the pre-shows and all the leaks and stuff that came out. Prey is coming back out.
I don't know anything about Prey.
I'm trying to remember when it was last out, but it was something. It was well known back in, I think it was the 90s, the early 2000s. But it was a big game then, from back then. It was one of the ones that people went, "Ooh." It's coming out next year, but again, only a teaser trailer. And I went, "Oh, QuakeCon." So again, I can't really say much about it because I don't know. Um, and then the final bit that we really need to talk about and say about was Dishonored 2 is coming out. And you play in the city of Kanaka, which is the Jewel of the South. You can play as Corvo or as Emily Coldwin, which, if anybody who played the first Dishonored will remember, Emily Coldwin is the princess that you had to save. The little girl you had to save in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's Emily Coldwin, all grown up. They've also fully voiced them now, and you've got new powers, like things like Shadow Walk and Domino, which can help knock people out of the way and over.
No, Domino is actually a cool power where you cast it on multiple people, and what happens to one happens to all of them.
Yeah,
So if you cast it on like 10, 5 people, and then you stab one of them in the neck, all of them get stabbed in the neck.
yeah, because they showed a bit where you can place like a bomb and down there, and you can set the dominoes up, and you get one person coming over to the bomb, set it off, and boom, which is pretty cool. They also have this thing called the alternate timepiece. Which,
Yes.
how cool does that look?
Yeah, you can jump in between realities
Yeah,
to set things up. It's like, oh, this door's locked. Well, go to the future. It's broken down. Go through, blow it back up, and you can just, set up traps and everything, like murder a guy, jump forward in time. And I think you even got to see like his body, his skeletal remains are like there in the same place or something. It was really weird.
Yeah, because it was also doing the fighting bit where you could actually just go behind a guy when you saw where he was, look through, and just go, okay, he's not going to see me as I come through, right? Bang.
Yeah, it
Which,
creates a whole nother tactical level, and I'm wondering how that's going to handle like doing no kill runs and stuff. If you're just going to be able to like pop, bing, bang, bing, bang, in out, and just do your target kills.
yeah. So it's like I wonder though if you can only use it at a certain point because that might make the game far too easy.
Right.
You know. So I'm just wondering how they're going to play that because again, you don't want something really overpowered, do you?
No. No, there's got to be a balance, and I know a lot of people who like speedrunning use their speedrun Dishonored.
Mm,
So I'm interested to see how that community kind of builds up around that game too,
yeah.
because it's one of the few decent like first-person action games that they have out right now.
Yeah, it's like so. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And if you do pre-order the collector's edition, if you do a pre-purchase, you will be able to get Dishonored the definitive collection or edition
Yeah, so
on Now Gen.
if you haven't bought it already, that seemed to be another theme
Yeah,
to the conferences. Like, if you buy this new fun that's coming out, you're gonna get the old or this prequel to the game for free.
but it started doing that last year, if you remember. Things
Yeah,
like
but
Just
it's
Cause 3 with Just Cause 2, Tomb Raider with the original. And then they didn't do that for some reason. It's like, hang on, I remember them saying that. Dark Souls 3 were the original Dark Souls, which is why I got the Thingy, which is one of the reasons I got the Xbox One version. You've got, the backwards compatibility stuff with Gears of War when you've got the rest of them when you got the definitive. So it seemed to be a big trend then, but they're still continuing, which I can't really grumble about.
no, neither can I.
And you can get this game on November the 11th. So it's Remembrance Sunday or Remembrance Day even. So you just got to remember to go get it. See what I did there? I
You're a funny guy, man. You're a funny guy.
yeah, I wish. But yeah, so that was Bethesda, and then we move on to one of the big ones, one of the really big ones, and that was Microsoft. And boy, did they start off with a bang! They came out with a Slim because again, one of the worst kept secrets with leaks going on. 4K video playback. You got a new wireless controller which has Bluetooth as well as normal wireless. Um, so it's $299 to begin with. It's out in August, but you've got three versions of it. You've got the 500 gig, you've got a 1 terabyte, and you've got the 2 terabyte.
Right.
So I don't know what one is the 299 is. I believe that's 500 gig.
Maybe. I would imagine, yeah, that's gonna be the cheaper one with the 500 gigs.
So what are we saying for about the 2 terabyte? What 399?
It's either 399 or 499.
Yeah, because I would think it would have been cool if you like increments of $50 for each one.
Yeah, but this is it, why do an increment of 50 when you can do 100 and people will still pay the price?
True, true.
The point with Project Scorpion, it almost seems like why bother?
Yeah,
Project Scorpion, which is definitely not a new console, but is part of the current console generation, the family of Xbox. That was the big thing, the family of Xbox.
yeah. We'll actually talk about that now rather than actually waiting to the end of this bit. But yeah, because Project Scorpio, you're right. They mentioned that right at the end and said, "Well, this is a monster." It's like, okay. One thing though, when people heard the actual specifications of it, even Sony went, "Oh, okay," because it's native 4K, whereas the Neo is being rumored that it can't do native, even upscaling is not fully compatible
Native
to do.
4K.
Yeah,
Because everybody has a 4K TV right now.
well, Mum does. Well, I don't. Mum does.
I don't.
Yes. Where does 4K do we have? But yeah, so they were touting that. They're also touting that it will be VR ready, so because they're using the Oculus, aren't they?
Yeah, they're using
Their
the
VR.
Oculus.
Yeah, because they were showing some of that during the gameplay, like things like Forza. But yeah, so they one of the big things that they said, and this is what one of the question marks I have over Scorpio is they were saying how the Xbox One, the Xbox One Slim, and the Scorpio, all the games will work on each one, all the accessories will work on each one. No one who owns one of the earlier consoles will get left behind. They're all going to be sharing the same space.
Right.
Now, my question is this: how long is that going to last? Because with past instances that Microsoft have done, hell, even at certain points during the PS3's life cycle, the PS2 was dropped and stopped manufacturing.
Yeah, because they would come with like the PS2 Slim, and they come up with the kind of like the mid-grade generation of the console,
Yeah.
usually slimmed down, lower price, and then maybe an update or maybe an upgrade or two to it, a better hard drive. Like the Xbox Slim.
Mm.
That's exactly what it is. It's the what we've seen as the normal lifespan of a console. You're in a couple years, they find a more efficient way to make it. They make it the more efficient way. They slim it down, they retail it out, they re-release it at the price of what the original console was when it came out, and then you drop the price of the original console, phase that one out of production, and move over to that generation. And then that lasts till usually the end of the cycle.
Mm. And then they just drop it and stop making games. So I'm just wondering how long is that going to happen? Because that's a bold statement to say where no one's going to be left behind. So that's going to be interesting to see from Christmas next year when that
You
comes
got that
out.
one 360 user, be like, what about me?
Excuse me, do you still make games for the 360? Oh, okay. Oh, you don't.
That's
Okay.
too bad.
Though apparently, I heard recently that they're still looking at trying to get backwards compatibility on the original Xbox.
Really.
So yeah,
I mean, there were some decent games on the Xbox, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have backwards compatibility Phantasy Star Online.
wouldn't it look a bit dated? Ooh, Stratham has given us an interesting point. I wonder, I do wonder if it will hold development back. That's a that's a good point.
Well, they had that huge video of at the end of the conference when they announced Scorpio of like all the developers, all of which the only one I recognized was the head of Bethesda going, "This is the console that we wanted as the developers. They finally listened to us and they're giving us what we want so we can make the things we want." So I'm assuming that they've had the specifications for these for a while now.
Yeah, because it's like,
Uh,
didn't you get deja vu when you heard that?
yeah, it was like last year.
It was like it was also around about 2009,
Yeah.
2010. And you heard, oh yeah, Sony have been talking to us and they asked us what we want in a console. The PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Are Microsoft actually going, hang on, they got this right with this one. Let's copy them, shall we?
It's ebbs and flows and con. I mean, you can kind of see where they're going with this, and I'm not gonna knock. It's I'm not gonna knock them, but it's like, okay, well, we're getting a little beat up right now in these console sales. What can we do to drum up interest? What can we do to do that? Well, you're kind of sitting there going with the midlife cycle system. Okay, that makes sense. That's normal. We get that, but to talk about Project
Scorpio. Yeah.
Scorpio this early, it may be one of those things where like Nintendo was like when the Wii heard about the Wii U and the Wii had been see Wii still seemed to be very new, and
Mm.
we're like, wow, really? This soon? Um, as if for pushing back development, maybe, though not being too into what they're talking with everything the technical specs. I mean, if they're keeping them within the ballpark, if they're using just the same kind of chipset and stuff, and they're just basically amping up processing power and stuff, it just allowed them to make more deeper in-depth games. But yeah, it does scare me when they say nobody will be left behind. When you look at it, and I'm going to use a kind of a controversial game here. When you look at Destiny, uh, it stuck between the mix of last gen and current gen, and you look at it and you think, they're saying that if they didn't have to make it on the previous generations of consoles, your inventory, your weapons, your skill sets, everything would have been so much better of an experience because they were limited to the previous generations of consoles and their hardware specifications. Now, I don't know how much of a technology leap we're talking here, or if it's really just going to be like native 4K, maybe a little bit stronger processing power and hard drive speed. But if that's something, I mean, that was a game that was severely crippled by not only the fact that it was on an older console, but a bunch of other development issues that we don't need to go into.
Mm.
But you can see that's where I start to get a little worried because you might be saying, "Hey, nobody's going to get left behind." So you're basically telling developers, "We want you to develop your game, but we want you to develop your game so that everyone can play it even so you can't develop it up to these specifications, though we have this console that will run it at the specifications because you need to be able to run it on an older console that has these specifications. um, Now that being said, you know, you develop PC, PS4 and console. Now all of a sudden, if you're looking at the life cycle and development cycle of games, PC Project Scorpio, Xbox One, PlayStation, and then PlayStation Neo, you're going to be looking at like asking them to develop for two additional consoles. That could really extend out the life, and you could start seeing Batman Arkham Asylum issues.
Yeah, because you're looking so okay, so PS4, Neo, then you got Xbox One, Xbox One Slim, then you got Project Scorpio. So you're looking
We can
NX.
we can count Xbox One and Xbox One Slim as the same
Mm.
thing. It's just
Yeah, it's slightly different. It's slightly better in terms of what it can do graphically.
yeah,
But
but
again,
that's a
same.
graphic side of thing,
Okay, so we'll just cut that one out then. So NX, yeah, and then PC probably for a lot of them
Yeah.
as well. So there you go. So I mean, as Ratham says, if it's holiday 2017 specs, will be for a decent PC, I guess. Price point at what, $700 to $1,000?
Yeah, if you're looking at a
I reckon they're going to be pushing it at least 499 to 599 for that.
yeah, I mean if they're pushing if Scorpio's out and they're pushing it at the 7 to 1K range, at that point my I'd say but just buy a PC.
Yeah.
You could build a gaming rig that would handle anything that would be on the console for that price.
Though, and if we do touch on this suppressor, um, we may discuss a bit more. But there was AMD was part of the PC gaming show,
Hmm.
and they came out with the Polaris graphics cards, and that's rumored to be in the PS4. And
Okay.
they were saying that they're making these cards so they're like like a budget, so they may not cost as much as we're thinking. So they may be able to bring that price down to more sort of console level. So you never know. So you might be able to get a decent price next year.
Hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see. But Xbox had games too, right?
Yep, they had games. Boy, did they have games.
Yeah,
Because
it seemed like they were just like, and it was like Oprah Winfrey, like, and you get a game, 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 and let's have an awkward 5 minute discussion with the developer, and then bring out the next game.
and don't forget the new Elite controller.
Yeah,
Um,
we have a controller. It's brand new. Looks awesome.
so what's it? It's Gears Elite one. It got Gears logo on it. Look, brilliant. But to be fair, it did look quite cool. Just skin.
It did look quite cool, even though it looked like that LG phone commercial from like a year ago when they said you can make your own type of phone and like give it its own backing and stuff. I'm like, wow, that's the culture we're in now. Not only can you customize your phone, but I want my phone to look exactly like my Xbox controller because I'm that much of a freak.
That was the other controllers as well. It's like, what was that? 8 million different colors. Like,
Yeah.
well, can I have a tartan one? If you're going to make me a tartan one, sold. I'll have it. If you want
I
to have
want
on the back a teacup with fancier brew on it, there you go. I'll take it.
I want one that's specifically between royal blue and the eggshell of a robin's egg.
Really?
Specifically that color. If you can get me that blue, yeah, I've got it. If not, you've done nothing for me, Microsoft. You've done nothing.
Absolutely nothing at all.
Nothing at all. I don't even own an Xbox.
You should.
I have a
Well, wait,
PC.
what am I saying?
Everything was coming out for PC too. That they announced like this, and for PC, and for PC. And I'm like, I'll
Wait,
buy it on Steam.
the Xbox Play Anywhere, where you can actually, buy things like, oh, Gears of War 4, which they showed more of, including the Horde mode 3.0 they're bringing, and, sports co-op crossplay. So basically what they were saying was, you buy it on the Xbox, you're gonna get the Windows copy, and then you can play them on tablets. So, okay. And it does the things like the cross save that we used to get that seems to have dropped off since, late last generation, early this one with Sony. I haven't heard a lot about cross saving.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah, because it's like, because I wondered where that gone, because that used to be a byword of Sony, didn't it? It's like, so you can play it on your PS3. If you want to go somewhere, you can take your Vita with you and carry on. Don't hear much of that these days, because then again, the Vita doesn't exist without games.
They don't want to talk about that. Never happened.
Yeah, so
Never happened.
no. That's why Jack Tretton is no longer there, because he was talking to last year's one and he mentioned Vita and you saw this hook come along and go pull him off. But so Gears of War 4. They had the saw blade gun when they were showing the actual gameplay footage. Oh, looks superb, sir, with the environmental effects as well, because it's like the damage, and you got this whole storm going on while you're on this level, and bits were flying around past you. Very nice looking. And at the end of the trailer, who do we see? Only Marcus Phoenix sitting there in the chair, like, welcome home, son. So, I did have a bit of goosebumps on the back of my neck when that happens. It's like, oh, I like this. See, that's out October 11th as well. It's like, oh, October, you're going to be such a busy month.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear my wallet. Hang on. It's like, you can hear it. It's like, oh, no. No, bad wallet. Stop it. So and then you got Killer Instinct come out with the piece of news that we already bloody knew. So to me, this was a waste of fucking time. They came out and went, General Ram is coming out to play for free this week. So you've only got maybe a day or so before you have to pay for him. All right, but he's there as an extra character. So we got rid of that. Then the game that I'm actually looking forward to. Before I say this, so Stratham, Vita is over in the corner like Megatron going, I still function. It does, hang on. Because I hear something
function
moving.
as a doorstop.
Hang on, I hear something moving. It's like, look, it's okay. We're talking about you. You're all right. You're fine. Don't shake. It's all right.
We'll stop showing off your paperweight.
Yeah.
Put it back to cover.
Covering the porn. Shit.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say, put it down. Put your teacup back on it, so you don't stain what's underneath. That's what it's good for.
These days, it seems to be. But yeah, so the game that I saw and went, ooh, I've got to get this. And this is one that Stratham will like as well. Forza Horizon 3. Now, they showed off a playable demo of this because it's gone to Australia this time. And it's cross-play with so you can have it. Someone was using a steering wheel. Someone was using a normal controller on the Xbox One because, they're not allowed all the newfangled things. You saw someone on the actual Slim. And you saw someone using the Oculus.
Right.
And all of them were playing together in this one bit, which is impressive enough because it's seamless in terms of joining, which cross-platform, that's really good, So then you've got 4 different vehicle classes. The showcases return, which is nice, and you can also do the campaigning co-op. So Stratham, if you're about when that comes out, mate, me and you can do this. If you want, all right, we can go through this co-op, and we can do it on September the 27th. Because again, I'm a racing fan, so of course I'm getting excited about it. Because it was Stratham, Chris Slight, they're the ones who sort of went, you've got to play this. So okay, I'll play it. Yeah, there you go. Because yes, even though I did get my Xbox before him. Yes, which did cause some commotion on Facebook. It's like, I had developers going, "What the fuck?" Because it was like hell freezing over when I bought one. But then moving on, a game that we saw last year, which again does look pretty cool. It's a Recore, which is set in the far Eden distant future of Earth. I think looks.
Right.
Um, again, you can use the core as the main powering bit for each sort of mech, like a dog mech and a gorilla mech, that sort of thing, to do different functions for you. It looks still good, but I didn't see a release date. I didn't really see anything more, so we can't really go over anything more than what we already saw last year. Still looks good though. The And then we saw a bit of a surprise actually, because I thought this was going to be an exclusive to PlayStation. Final Fantasy 15 will be coming out on the Xbox
Yep.
September 30th, and they were showing off the battle system with a huge Titan, and you can have three-way fights in there, which
Yeah,
is
the other mobs can join in and fight while you're fighting them, and yeah.
yeah,
And enemies run away too. That's the other thing. They say like if an enemy is not doesn't think it's outnumbered or outmatched, it won't just stay and fight. It'll peace.
you just say, "Tell with this shit, I'm off."
Yeah, they'll just run away. And then the thing is too is if you corner it, then it'll fight, and then it'll be like get raged up. So it has like actual AI and thinking of that stuff. And then Square has told me wonderful things about video games before, and then I got the wonderful hallway that was Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, it's like, how many hours is this tutorial? What, 13 hours? Huh?
13 hours of just the thumbstick up. Which way do I run? Straight.
Yeah, okay. Oh, fight. Oh, there we go.
And you don't even have to play the game. It's a cinematic. You press the thing forward. You run forward. The game plays itself because it chooses its. You don't tell it what spells to do because they'll just automatically do it for you. And you're just like, oh, switch to healer, switch to DPS mode, switch back to healer. Wow, I'm having fun.
It's just so much fun. It's a blast. I mean, it's
They should have called it an RTS instead of an RPG. That's what it was. It's real time strategy because you're changing the strategy of your guys. You're not even actually telling them to do anything.
yes, yeah. Because you all right, just stand there. When he tries to hit you, you hit back. Yeah, right. I'm going for cuppa. See you in a bit. It almost felt as long as a Metal Gear Solid 4 cutscene.
Yeah, yeah,
Controversial,
those.
maybe. I'm
Maybe
waiting for shit to happen. Come on, the time is now, people. We can see you on screen.
kind of.
Yeah, well, I can see them. I've got a picture in my mind of them in there going. Yes, we're saying this. Hang on.
Well, the other thing too is that maybe in the future I can get call-in working.
But that's fine. We're still work in progress. It's only episode 1,
It hasn't crashed yet. It hasn't crashed in an hour.
so we're doing something right. We've made progress. Yes. And a game that should have made progress by the time this comes out, and yeah, and you hear this on like audio.
And stuff.
Yeah, it's a game that you love. You love to pieces, man. It's the Division they talked about. They talked a little bit about it here, but they talked a lot more on the Ubisoft one. The Underground expansion,
Yeah,
which is
it's
procedurally generated missions, and the further you go in, the more stuff and better stuff you'll get out.
they finally realized that the game is a pile of shit, so they're making you go through the sewers.
Yep.
Oh, I'll play it. I bought the gold edition. I own it.
Yeah.
It's gotten better. I can say it has gotten better. But
And there is a mission coming. It's called Survival.
right.
Looks like there's a agent hunter there,
Hmm.
because you saw him over a dead body of one of the agents, and he's got 3 of the bits there on him, with their little watch
Right.
light bits on there. So he must be a hunter. and so it looks like it's going to be a lot harder. There's a lot less resources in there to
Yeah, they're
pick
making
up.
it a lot more difficult with Survivor and
Yeah.
Underground,
Hmm.
which who knows? I mean, if they want to add like a whole food mechanic or something into the game, I'd be interested. Down. We can't hurt it at this point.
Yeah. Uh, and then next, well, we've already talked about this one, but Battlefield 1, someone came in, from EA and went, we're releasing Battlefield 1. You can get it early on Xbox, and also you can get DLC early on Xbox as well. Bye. Same thing. Again, more just filler.
We've got our Olden Conference to go. Yeah, that's was kind of the thing for Xbox's things. It felt like there was just a lot of filler.
Mm.
Filler this, filler that, a lot of quick things. I mean, even just kind of running down kind of some of the stuff. I mean, I know I'm going to go through some of these quick, but they went Gwent card game. Cool, Gwent card game coming out. Uh, you can play Gwent, you can sign up for the beta. Tekken 7 is coming out. And then they went like Tekken 7, Dead Rising, Scalebound, State of Decay, Halo Wars. It was just bang, 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 teaser trailer, teaser trailer. You talk for 5 minutes and then you're done. And then Scorpio and thanks for coming. And everybody was just like kind of, they kind of were like, I guess they kind of like were trying to build up to the Scorpio, to Project Scorpio, but
Yeah.
it felt too quick.
Mm. And it's just so yeah. I've already talked about it, so we don't need to. So yeah, I mean that was pretty much it for Xbox on that one. There was some decent things. Like again, the Gwent card game, and you got Tekken 7, which I was watching it, and then Ed went to me. He's like, "Hang on, is that Akuma from Street Fighter? What's he doing there?" It's like, well, and I replied to him. I was like, "Well, they haven't done Tekken X Street Fighter yet, so maybe this is a prelude to it. That's maybe a little sort of
I
coming
watch a
soon
lot of
afterwards."
the people who do fighting games professionally go up in arms if they do.
Yeah, because again, we've had Street Fighter X Tekken, and we're still waiting for that other one.
Hmm.
So you never know. So it might be that. Oh yeah, one thing we forgot to mention about the Xbox was 6 teraflops. Is
A
what they were
processor
saying.
power, right? Six
Yeah,
teraflops. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, now you got the flops out of the way. PC gamer, buckle in, folks, because this one's a bumpy ride. It was like an aerial bombardment of games just firing one after the other over this. It was like they said it was about 100 minutes, but it was more 2 hours. So
Yeah.
not as bad as last year, staying up till 5 in the morning. Going, I just want this to end. Please let it end so I can get some sleep. Because they actually moved it in between EA and Ubisoft, but they overran Ubisoft, didn't they? So
Hmm.
bastards. But speaking of aerial bombardment, they got really excited because Dawn of War 3 was shown.
Yes.
And they've changed the
Looks.
aerial bombardment a bit, so now it can move. And the more damage you do, the bigger it gets. But you can counter it,
Hmm.
which looks pretty cool. And it's more of the RTS stuff that we used to play.
It's Dawn of War. It's back.
Yep.
Thank God.
So having a quick look around over this. Any other ones you want to mention? Because I'm sorry, I don't want to mention all of this.
Yeah. No. There's a ton of them here. Ark. We'll get Chris to talk about Ark because we all know Chris loves Ark. Serious Sam is getting a VR, so if you want everyone to play Serious Sam in VR, you could.
That looks good, really does.
Uh, I think Super Hot VR looks very interesting.
Yes.
So Super Hot's getting its own VR. Just scrolling through the rest of these. Halo Wars 2 is going to be up on PC. Um, I think that's where it should be. I don't know how they're going to handle it, like the console port to it, because I imagine it's going to be made for console and ported to PC.
Mhm.
Here's hoping it's not shit.
I know they said when they were doing Halo Wars, they're gonna be making sure that the controls are mouse and keyboard for the PC because
Yeah.
they tried looking at it with Halo Wars as like more the console controls, and they're like, yeah, no, let's not do that this time. That was a bit shit.
That was shit, yeah. And then probably the other one is Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Yeah, they showed a little bit from the first level.
Yeah, they probably went through the different ways of handling it, how you can go stealth, how you can do action. I know that one of the things that they're trying to do is they were trying to bring more combat back into the game because they said in Human Revolution it was more like, stealth was always the better option.
Yeah,
Even if you wanted to murder people, stealth was still the better option. So they're trying to make an even keel between stealth and murdering, or murderating.
yeah, moderating, technical
Because
term.
yeah, it's a technical term that they use in the business. Murderating. I mean, you are a murder machine in being him. So
This is true, and you still got the. I don't know what's going on. It's like, when did you come Batman, Adam? Just now. Yes. Not Bane, not Bane with.
you figured
It's
like when they
censored.
added all
It's
those cybernetic
censored.
enhancements, they actually like
Turn the
fixed
volume up
his
on his voice.
chest, or
Yeah.
not like fixed it. If you got it, the guy smoked. He'd probably fix all that problems. He probably doesn't even have real lungs anymore.
Yeah, because you could go up to the viz. Okay, let's twiddle this here. So, can you speak now? No, yeah, bit more, bit more. Can you go first? Yeah, open your mouth. Ah.
At least they didn't do the Japanese schoolgirl.
Yeah, because we've seen enough of that. We don't know where that's going.
Yeah.
There
So
was one other one on that I wouldn't mind saying about. It's Mirage Arcane Warfare. It's like a first-person medieval looking sword fighting game with magic. It's slower, more deliberate fighting, so you can block and interrupt and stuff. There was also another one. Oh, what was it called now? It was the no, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. Because there was one that was it was like medieval warfare, and you had to go up and do siege towers, and basically just do a siege, and that looked really good because it was a case of Mountain Blade 2. That's it, Bannerlord.
Mountain
See,
Blade, that's a classic series.
yeah, the second one they've actually made it the AI more intelligent. So when you're trying to break through the portcullises and the doors, you've got people above you chucking down oil and stuff like that to try and disrupt.
Doesn't bring any flashbacks to you, Will, at all.
No,
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 not living in England, being in Corby, a
no,
very Scottish town
no,
in the middle of in the Midlands of England.
not near Rockingham Castle. No, it doesn't remind me of anything.
Not gonna wake up in the middle of the night and find that you're storming Rockingham Castle.
They changed it to a manor house of all fucking things. I mean, this is a thing built by William the Conqueror, for fuck's sake. Rockingham Forest was huge back in the day. I know that because I lived through some of it. But yes, let's do that, shall we? Let's go
Yep,
there. We're scraping the barrel early. So
wouldn't be a
yeah,
show if I didn't make fun of you for being English.
yeah, it wouldn't be a show if I could actually make decent jokes. So yeah, that was partly some of the PC gaming show. If you want to see the rest of it, fill your boots.
Yeah, there's a lot going over here. Ubisoft, that was what was next, right?
Yep, that
I
was next.
saw some of this.
What bits did you see? Because I saw the dancing at the start of it and went, "What the fuck is this?"
I saw Star Trek Bridge Crew, which would be the only reason why I'd want to do VR. But then again, it kind of harkened me back to like, well, me and my friends used to do this, except that we used our imaginations, and now they can give us Oculus to actually do this.
Yeah,
But you need four people to have VR headsets in the same room. I could just imagine being like your friend walking. He's like, "I brought the beer," and it's just everybody's wearing VR headsets, going like,
no. Cruising 13. Hello, hello, welcome. He asked the question: Can we talk about We Happy Few? I backed it on Kickstarter and saw it on E3. Actually, yeah, we'll zip back a little bit. We'll zip back before we continue with Ubisoft and talk about that. Yeah, we forgot to mention that. It's the one that reminds me of The Prisoner. If you ever saw that with Patrick McGowan as number 6,
"No."
it was set in Fort Miriam, or Port Miriam in Wales, and it was basically this guy went to this village and he was trapped there. It was really, in the 60s, and it was really psychedelic, really really weird. And so We Happy Few reminds me of that. It's like where you're in this place that's in England, and you're taking these pills called Joy,
Right.
which are making you high pretty much. They're stopping it. Yeah, he's not a prisoner; he's a free man. But there is a callback to it. But and Rover, big ball thing that caught you and brought you back every time you tried to escape. But yeah, so We Happy Few is along those lines to me. And so you take this pill, you're high,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sort of you're supposed to you're living in this bubble almost where you don't really know what's going on. So one of these days you just stop taking it because you look down this newspaper and you see it's one of your friends that something's happened to him. So you're a bit upset about this, and your wife comes in. She goes, "Have you taken your Joy today?" It's like, yes, 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 I have. She buggers off, goes, "Okay, we need you at for this party sort of thing." Because they've got a pinata, they're gonna swing and break, so they want you to hurry along. So she comes in after that. So you go to the party bit. She says about you hitting the pinata, so you do, and you're still under the influence then. But then you
Right.
sort of when you hit it, you look at your hands. Your hands are sort of bloodied, and you look back where the pinata was, and they're still happily munching away on this candy or what they think is candy, but you've got a dead rat on the table.
It's survival, death, permagen, Bioshock, and some side quests. Yeah, I was looking at it. I just kind of looked at the trailer. Actually, let me do this.
Yeah, give this a test. Let's see if this works.
Yeah, if this is either gonna work great or I'm about to crash everything, people. So hold on.
Yeah, and don't worry, we'll still be recording audio while he's fixing this if it goes horribly, horribly wrong.
If
Because
I
I'm
totally
drinking
just
my
crashed.
water.
Exactly. You get to watch Will drink the water while I set this up. Totally stall for me, Will.
Firstly, work this talking. So yeah, Bioshock-like game with some side quests. Is it with the Kickstarter? How that really pushed by its target? Were you all happy with everything so far? And do you know when it's mostly coming out? Because isn't it supposed to be part of the early preview program as well? Yeah, stay hydrated, kids, because otherwise you've got. But yeah, no, it was one of the ones I was wanting to talk about tonight. It just completely went. So thank you, Cruising, for reminding us. So
All right.
far, it's you, Mr. Smith, in the running for this.
All right, so I totally got switched over. Don't mind the looks behind the camera here, people.
So I'm just going to dance for them a little bit, because if if
I think
Curtis
the
comes
audio
on,
should be coming through.
if Curtis comes on and says I dance a lot and streams on Chris Slights one, I better do it a bit. There you go. That's your lot. The rest is paid DLC. So I'll just because I can't see the screen, I've put it paused. So actually, there we go. Now I can see it. So yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, very psychedelic.
It caught my eye last year when I saw it. It was at Gamescom. We saw it last year, and I was hoping we could play it at EGX, but no. So yeah, basically in the E3 part, which is different to this. So yeah, so you get caught with not taking your Joy, and they go, "Oh, he's not taking his Joy. He's a downer. Quick, call security." So you have to bolt it. There was a bit where you're running along the sewer to try and get out, and it's coppers are chasing you and you get knocked down. So it is a game that to keep your eye on. I say,
It
Cruz, thank you for bringing that up because
it looks like the Truman Show meets Stepford Wives. If that kind of makes sense. It's kind of like you're living in that unreality, and then all of a sudden things go crazy, and everybody's out to get you.
yeah,
Just a thought. Yeah, no, thanks for bringing that up.
yeah,
Thanks for letting me. I didn't crash the stream.
Hey,
I
we
did something
test.
and it didn't crash. Cool. So we can do other trailers for things.
See, you helped us there, out there. So there we go. So fast forward now, back to Ubisoft. Go, there we go. Back. They start showing these dancers then for at the start of the Ubisoft conference for Just Dance 17, saying it'll be out everywhere in October, but in the NX they actually
Hmm.
mentioned next year. So how that's going to happen, I don't know, but you can dance your socks off if you want. Whereas in the next game they showed, Ghost Recon Wildlands, I don't think dancing's an option unless you're avoiding bullets.
Yeah.
And Rob and myself were watching this and we were waiting. We were just waiting to hear the key words open world come up and, oh, well, you know, we where did that come from? Because it's the biggest fear we have for this Ghost Recon is it's going to be another cookie cutter Ubisoft game where you're going to have main mission, side bit there, side bit there, side bit there, side bit there, one area. Mission, side bit there, open stuff up, like, go to a compound, open up the area. Side bit, side bit, side bit, side bit, side bit, same things as the other bit. Add and repeat. Like some sort of weird gaming Brock Lesnar. Because that's what we hope it isn't. It is co-op though, and you are going up against a drug cartel. It feels a bit more serious, Just Cause 3. Um, some of the actual mission they showed was quite cool because there was this guy called the Butcher. So you had to get into the compound where he was and then take him alive, but you don't have to take him alive if you do a different mission parameter. So it's fairly open to change if you want. So basically, they said it going to capture him, not kill him. So they sent one guy in. And here's another thing about Ubisoft. Remember last year when we were watching Rainbow Six and we had the people talking, strategizing, and we all looked and went, "Hang on, that sounds nothing like us when we're playing this stuff. We're normally swearing at each other, going, 'Oh, you shot me in the back, you dick.'" Again, nothing like this in the team play. You go, "Are you all right? Do you need any help?" It's like, "No, no, I've got this." As he's running along, going into the compound, and it's sort of the teamwork's there, and it's all great and fantastic, and you've got people like covering each other with snipers and taking the guys out when they need it. Fine, bog standard stuff, all right. They get to the butcher. The butcher spots them. He's off running. Then changes so you can more GTA style. Jump onto a car or a bike and just chase after him. Try and stop the car from escaping by immobilizing it. So in that respect, it was all very very good. I just hope it's more than just that. I just hope the variety is there. But we can all play it on March the 7th. So look, Ubisoft, I'm crossing my fingers here for you. Not
I don't
giving
know
you the
if I
finger, crossing it.
I don't know if I need another open world first person, third person shooter in my life.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
Well, you've got The Division,
Hmm.
you've got Rainbow Six,
Far Cry.
uh, Far Cry, Far Cry Primal,
Yeah.
and there's four from the same developer.
Hmm.
Then we can also do, I don't know, Battlefield, Call of Duty,
Duty.
Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare remake.
Yeah.
I mean, do I need to keep going at this point?
No, 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 no. Please don't. Please,
There's
please.
there's 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 enough. Please, there's enough.
Because
I don't need more reasons to shoot Ed in the back of the head with a shotgun. I got enough of that as it is right now in plenty of the games.
yes, that's Rainbow Six all in a nutshell, really, isn't it?
Don't take a shield. Don't ever take a shield.
Yeah, get
'Cause you,
behind me, lad. I have a shield.
yeah, you don't.
All right, Rob, I'll get behind you. About 10 foot behind you as you explode. Speaking of exploding, the fart explosion that you can cause in the next game that we saw can actually rip
Yes.
the hole in time, so you can send it back in time. And that is the Fractured But Whole, the new South Park game. which, as we all know,
Su
is a sequel to Stick of Truth.
yeah, it looks amazing. One thing you can say about this is, regardless of how the gameplay is, which is like a tile-based strategy RPG game with superheroes, the story is just going to be phenomenal. Apparently, you're whatever kid you are, you're all playing superheroes, and there's the Division. Basically, their civil war happens as they're trying to come up with their whole super secret plan and how they're going to announce all the movies for all their superhero team ups that they've got. So it looks great. Obviously, Matt Stone and Trey Parker are awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what they're doing with it. I'll probably play. I beat Stick of Truth, mainly just because the story. The story was just absolutely hilarious and all the callbacks and everything. That's what did it for me.
Yeah.
Um,
It
but
was really, really funny, and there was some past the knuckles onto the wrist in terms of humour for that, which was brilliant. I mean, Gina's saying she must be the only person very meh about the South Park game. Yes, I've now gone in Technicolor because think of this as part two of the show. It's like a crossover point, you see. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if you haven't played the Stick of Truth but you want it, if you pre-purchase, uh, if you pre-purchase the South Park game, certain things like PSN and Xbox Live, you can get it. You can get the Stick of Truth for free
and
as
play
part
it.
of it on Now Generation, which is all good and dandy and fantastic. And those, yeah, yeah, there's not really much else to say there. We've been through the Division, Eagle Flight VR. Did you want to see about that? The
Eh,
3v3 Eagle flying? No, no.
I don't like heights.
For Honor, which looks really good. Bit
It looks
Dynasty
good.
Warriors.
Yeah, very bit Dynasty Warriors. Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah, I'm. I think I'm burned with Watch Dogs because I was looking at going, yeah, I'm just not impressed now. Sorry, because what we saw in the Watch Dogs trailer compared to what we got, almost two different things. And it's just like, yeah, I understand tech demos and your things like bells and whistles, but you've got to have something that's even remotely close to it. We didn't. So it's like, yeah, when they came out and said, well, we're going to be doing this, and you said in San Francisco, it's like, yeah, probably going to be set in Orlando by the time we get it. So I'm not that fussed with it. I'm not sure about you.
I wasn't big on the other one either. I mean, it looked like a GTA clone
Mm.
trying to be. It looked like they tried to say what's hot right now, GTA and Jason Bourne. Let's combine them together and make a game.
Yeah, the Born can't identify.
Yeah, no, it's not. So it was like I don't I couldn't get in together with the main character. I couldn't get in with that. And then the whole then why not just play Grand Theft Auto? You're gonna have more fun time anyways. It's not dark and gritty, but it's
Yeah,
at least it's fun and satirical. And
yeah.
that just may be my personal preferences.
As,
I've got
as,
enough dark and gritty games in my life that I want something fun
yeah.
to play.
As Gina said, it's trying to be too clever.
Yeah, no, it's almost like trying to watch a. I'm playing a Vice news piece. That's pretty much what it is. It's beating you over the head with how like raw and real it is.
So, look what I can do with my phone. I can set a car going off. Like, really? Oh, I can listen to music while I go kill people. It's brilliant. It's like, yeah, you could probably do that in real life, even though you're not supposed to. All the shit that's been going on late, you
It's
probably
like, look, I'm in look, I'm in a tunnel and I can blow stuff up. No, you can't. This is the American Cell Network. You can't be in a freaking tunnel and do any of that crap.
you get near a
You
tree and you
lose.
lose a signal.
I know, yeah. You walk under a bridge and you lose your signal.
No, I still can't get it. Quick, flick to wireless Wi-Fi mode.
Yeah, that would have created more suspense. It's just like, okay, you need to set up your plan, and then you also need to like go and spend like 10 minutes trying to search for a signal so you can like send it. It's like, is this good? Is this good? Is this good? It'd be like the Verizon Wireless guy, the game. Just, can you hear me now? Good. How about now? No?
Exactly. We also had Grow Up, which is a sequel to Grow Home, which if you watched my Twitch channel, you would have seen me play that a while ago. But handily, it will soon be up on the shameless plug time. The, the Game Won't Play Itself YouTube channel, ah,
Yeah,
which you should all
soon.
subscribe to.
Soon. That's definitely gonna happen.
I'm not giving the exact date. I'm being a Microsoft to say when it's ready. Soon as when it's
Yeah,
ready.
when it's ready. We'll have that ready soon-ish.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I sent a load of videos over. Okay. I'm sorry. I had content. He wanted content. We gave it.
Oh yeah, no, no. You want to talk about a load of videos? Oh God, I'm actually going to show them a little bit behind the cameras here.
Go for it, because then while you're doing that, I'll talk about Trials Blood Dragon, which they showed with the cheesy 1980s adverts.
Yeah, he
Oh
says a load of videos. Like here, take a look. Take a look. It's 262.
yeah, she wants the link. Wants the
Se
link. The link.
seven
Hang on,
pages.
I'll get in the link. The link is on its way. So yeah, Blood Dragon, Trials of the Blood Dragon, even. Uh, yeah, came out that day. So I bought it because it's Trials, and I must have Trials because it's awesome and super and smashing and great. But yeah, they've made it a bit more sillier. They've put more Blood Dragon into it, and there's a load of references for films and stuff. It's absolutely fun. So I can recommend it. It's not all on the bike. There is running parts on there, so you do have to shoot and do a bit more of that stuff. But it's fairly seamless, I guess. Fairly, uh, maybe.
Maybe a little bit.
Gina, exactly. This was the game I was playing, and I had to control my gas because you're flying in a jetpack. And
Hang on, let me get even fancier here, because I can do these kind of things because I'm a technical wizard. You mean this right here?
yeah, are you bringing up the video? I think you're bringing up.
No,
You are, aren't you? Yeah, because say there was a I am
this is
watching.
this this is a little meta. We're on Twitch watching a YouTube video of watching you be live on Twitch.
It's Lardception. It's making my mind go boom.
I'm gonna move it up a little bit here.
Yeah, it was around later on. It was more that way. But yeah, so again, you can see blatantly they did borrow and use heavily from Blood Dragon for this. Yeah, this is near it. This was near it. It was basically a case of, so you can see I'm jumping through so like a laser bits, laser traps and things like that to go through the mission. Very silly missions. You got a guy who looks like Sergeant Slaughter briefing you on your missions. Very, very, very cheesy.
I think that's his streaming shirt. That's the shirt he's wearing.
Yep.
It's the same shirt.
Yep.
All right, so let's just stop that there
So yeah.
and totally just bring it back to us.
But yeah, so that is Trials of Blood Dragon. I recommend you buy it because it's fun if you like that sort of thing. It's not as frustrating as Trials Fusion. And then the final bit, because they seem to want to do this every year, where you've got the little Frenchman come out and go, well, we got this new game that you might like, that I hope you like, that you should like, called The Steep, which is an open mountain stunt game. Remember the old SSX, the last one they did?
Yeah, like SSS Tricky.
No, not a bit more serious, like the last SSX they did.
Oh, I just remember Tricky.
Yeah, Tricky was fun, but yeah, no, this was a much more serious version of it. So yeah, you've got this snowboarding bit. You can do wingsuits, you can do normal skiing, you got paragliding as well. And so you go down this mountain range, different bits and different routes and things like that. So you can do like challenges, you can do replays, you can do fails. It's like, yeah, it all looks nice and pretty, and you can do all this stuff, but it's like just so fucking boring to me. And I mean boring. It's out in December if you really want to do it, but if you do, don't ask me to get it because I'll tell you no. Maybe not as politely. So no. And then we shall move on to the penultimate one. Yeah, we've been going about an hour and a half. So yeah, the Sony presser, and it started with the orchestra, and so I'm talking to Ed. Yeah, I'm talking to Ed, and he's like, "Okay, we're listening to this orchestra play." And I went, "Dude, that's God of War music if ever I've heard it." And he's like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah, watch, let us see because it sounded a lot like it." And then you saw the kids playing in the snow and the hut and this mountainside, and then you hear the guy's voice to come in. So yeah, and then you see Kratos, and he went, "Holy shit, dude, you called it!" It's like, yes, yes, I did. Smug face.
Kratos got a beard too.
He's got a mighty beard.
Yeah, he's got a Viking beard.
He just needs the Viking helmet now with the two horns.
No, he'll just make them. He'll just rip the head off of like some ancient Norse mythology beast, and he'll wear that as a helmet.
Yeah, it's like actually he might do that because there was one point during the actual game where you're facing this like mini boss, and you've got your child to sort of aim at it with his bow and arrow because you want him to actually do something right because so far he's done fuck all right. So you get this horn beast you're facing, and you rip one of its horns off, and you're holding its head down, saying, "Shoot it, shoot it." What does your son do? Shoot you in the arm. It's like, hang on, you're not playing Rainbow Six here now, son. So, so you rip it out, kill the thing. It looks a bit more open like Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's
like open world, but not really open world. Kind of like area
yeah,
open world
yeah, yeah,
stages.
yeah. Because you got things like hunting as well. And you can get experience in hunting and drawing the bow, and so they really did a departure from the God of Wars, which is it. It might actually be really good.
Mm.
Not that the other God of Wars weren't, because they were fun, including the actual the little side mini game of the hearing Kratos possibly having sex. Yeah, even those bits are in it. It's like, okay, let's not. Oh, you've given me red orbs. Okay, which can sound very wrong considering the context. And thank God I don't have QuoteBot working because that could have been quoted. Um, so yeah, but I'm looking forward to God of War. It looks stunning, and it might be one of those games that actually work on Neo first of all. But
Right.
yeah, really looking forward to that. We moved on to Days Gone. Now, when we said that Sony just fired game after game after game at you from this presser, we weren't kidding because Days Gone is like Sons of Anarchy meets The Last of Us, but more sort of The Walking Dead in terms of the enemies.
Right.
Because again, it
This is
looks this
yeah,
is zombie.
this is very Last of Us.
Yeah, and I thought it was. I thought it was under a code name, but then again, it's Ben Studio, so it's like, And as Gina says here, so Days Gone throws money at the screen. It's like, oh, I've got no money left. Give me yours. Come here, chuck it at the fucking screen. Yeah. Again, it looks fairly open area rather than open world. They did do a playable demo right at the end of the show, and oh boy, yes please, because there was this oncoming rush for this zombie horde.
Right.
It really felt like the survival you had to, no matter what you were doing, no matter how many bullets you were wasting, they were just coming and coming and coming. There was just no stopping them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. There, there might be side missions as well as story ones. Again, so it might be verging on a little bit of the Ubisoft bit, but hopefully not. I know. So that looked really cool. Don't know whether
Yes.
did you see any of it, the Sony one?
I didn't see any of the Sony presser.
Right.
But I have labeled this section of this of our stream the "shut up and take my money" section.
Yeah, because there's a shit ton in here that really should, deserve our money. Like, again, Last Guardian was shown, but it still looks like a PS3 game.
I just wanted to get released. I mean, the thing is that Ico in the Shadow of the Colossus was never like a huge graphical game. It was more about content.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just at this point I just wanted to get released just so the studio could be like, look, it's done. Thank you. You've teased this for almost a decade now.
Yeah.
Please.
Please, just please, please, just give us this, please. But it is coming on October 25th. So hopefully no more delays. Otherwise, it will become the new Duke Nukem forever.
Right. We don't want that.
No. A game that hopefully doesn't get delayed either is Horizon Zero Dawn from Guerrilla.
Yes. Wants game.
It looks really nice. They didn't show really anything new from what we already knew from last year. It was just more hunting of a different animal. Yeah, you can ride an animal and tame it, or sorry, hack it and reprogram it. But there's nothing really new there, you know. Yeah, okay, it uses conversation choices, like Uncharted 4 and other games. But yeah, so it looks nice. Looks like it plays really well, but nothing new. We saw a bit of Detroit Become Human. Now, there was some piece of news I saw earlier, which I'll go into in a second, which is latest from David Cage. It was showing a hostage situation where you're this AI that comes in to be a hostage negotiator because there's another AI that just went berserk, got the daughter who was babysitting, and has her on the roof, and he's ready to jump with her. So that obviously police are surrounding it, the mother's going berserk, and then she sees that it's the hostage negotiator is an AI, and she's like, "How? I thought you were sending someone human." So she's getting really upset. They had to drag her away. So yeah, so you go to this hostage situation, and this is where the situation is where you make it your own story because you can either talk him out of it, depending on what investigations you do beforehand. He can still kill the girl by taking her off the roof. He can shoot you in the head. You can save the girl, and then they will shoot him. So the options are there. I think there's a lot more options than Heavy Rain or Beyond Two Souls in this. So the potential is there to make this really good. And also we heard that Indigo Prophecy, Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy will be coming out on the PS4. I believe it was next week, he said? We know earlier?
Me? Did I
Maybe.
say that?
No, I sort of saw that earlier online. I'll have to get that looked at, but we will find out for next week. I will make sure, because that's one of the talking points we'll have for next week's show. The other thing as well I saw, and it was the length of time Detroit Become Human is apparently lasting 8 to 10 hours. And so people are up in arms in it, even though apparently you can have more replayability. So obviously with the choices, you should be able to. So we'll have to see, because that sounds like a bit of a sticking point for some people. Not sure whether I would agree with that. And yeah, as Gina was saying, the Detroit looks worth a play. The facial expressions looked impressive. Yes. And then we had a little teaser clip thing. It was like before Kitchen. So I think Kitchen was a little bit of a red herring for people when they were asked to try it. Turns out they were in Resident Evil 7. And it looks like you can actually play it in VR next year from January 21st. So yeah, if that was Kitchen, the potential,
Bravo.
yeah, they really, really kept that quiet. They also decided to show a demo that was on the PlayStation Store now that you can go try. They did say it was the opening hour, but we saw Rob play it on stream yesterday, and it didn't look like 20 minutes for a playthrough, even though it looks like there's 4 endings, which is quite nice. Look, I I haven't seen any zombies or anything yet that I'm aware of. It looks more like Ghosts and looks more like PT than a Resident Evil, so we'll have to wait and see how that comes about. So
Well,
yeah,
Resident Evil's been able to reinvent itself before, so
yeah, but remember what happened with Resident Evil 6.
yeah, we won't talk about that. We really won't talk about that.
Then they went into a VR sort of little moment. They said the headset was coming out on October 13th in the USA for $399, which we knew about that anyway.
Right.
When is it coming out in the UK? We don't know yet. They didn't say. But they went off on this like reel of games quite quickly, like Farpoint, which is a space first-person shooter game. One that got Rob excited, and I know it's going to be free for people who own Battlefront. X-Wing VR mission.
Good.
Yeah,
They're finally coming out with an X-Wing game.
yeah, but I think it's only one mission, which is like, really?
Is it at least the Death Star?
No, no, I didn't see the Death Star. All we
It's
saw
not
was
even a Death Star.
we saw the back of a blockade runner. You looked left, and there was a couple of Star Destroyers there. So it was a space battle runner. There was no Death Star we saw, which is like missed opportunity if that's the case, you know.
I know.
Then we started hearing Mark Hamill talk. Is the Joker because we're getting a Batman Arkham VR.
Is it gonna run on PC?
I don't know. I think it's exclusively on PlayStation VR.
Good, so then I have to worry about porting it.
Yeah, coming out in October. When I think it'll be just as a launch title, I believe. But again, all we saw was just a teaser. We also saw a bit more Final Fantasy 15. Again, same sort of thing that we saw in the Microsoft presser. It's not much different there, but it's coming out in VR as well. So you can do like a Final Fantasy 15 VR experience is what they said on the screen. So whether it's a full game or not, or some sort of thing associated with it, we don't know. And then they went weird a bit, and this sort of threw me because I thought this was Valkyrie Online, because it was like a space battle bit. You were launched into space, blah blah blah, and all this. And then you got out of your spaceship and started firing, and it's like, oh, this is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, isn't it? Yep. See, I can do this now and be silent because you can see me go.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I can actually do air quotes and actually have it mean air quotes.
Yeah. It looks.
It's Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's good. To be fair, it looked better and it got me a bit more interested the second time I watched it, when doing all the notes for the show. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because hopefully it's reinvented it a little bit more. Because it's certainly gone a different way than Battlefield. Which is nice. It's out 4th of November. If you pre-purchase the Legacy Edition, you will get Modern Warfare as well. Plus,
Right.
you can get it 30 days earlier on PlayStation 4. Yeah. There. And then the news that I called, in a way, if you heard other podcasts in the past that I was part of. Yeah, right. And that James mentioned, talking about this game as well. Crash Bandicoot is being remastered, 1, 2, and Warped.
Yep.
All from the ground up because they're doing a deal with Activision. You also get Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders Imaginators, which is out first in October. Nice. That's cool. I want a new Crash. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Hopefully they price it right rather than full price, and have it like a legacy collection. That'd be cool. Then more Star Wars, but this time Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Which, if you want to play it and see what it's like, demo
It's
up.
like a Star Wars. Yep, there you go.
It's out in about a week. There you go. And then the game I can summarize in one sentence. Norman Reedus's arse. There you go, ladies. If you're hearing this, there you go. Have at it.
It's Hideo Kojima.
Yep. Hideo
It's
Kojima. Sorry, about you were saying.
it's a Hideo Kojima thing. You knew that like if he was going to show you something, that would be it.
So it's like so. The only thing I didn't see was Del Toro in there.
He
Mm.
might be
Mm.
involved.
But
The
Death
amount of stuff
Stranding.
this explains the whole kind of like tour he did like of a couple months ago, where he was like going to all the Sony stuff, and then he had a picture of Norman Reedus, and you're like, what?
Yeah, you knew something was up with that. It's like, oh, so what is he up to? And this is apparently it. It's called Death Stranding. There was, it was actually a pretty good trailer. You know, you got all the crabs and that die dead on this beach, and you've got the oil, and then you see him with the handcuff around him with an umbilical cord to a baby, which he sort of was crying and holding, and then it sort of disappeared and melted into his hands. And you saw these handprints all over his naked body. Before he stood up and he's sort of floating sort of bodies in the air, all five of them, and it's just like there you go, Death Stranding. And oh, okay, this looks like it could be fun, but I worry about it. How much leniency has Kojima got for this?
It's the one thing I did worry about with a Hideo Kojima game going into this is that like they're gonna give him full run, and he's just gonna go buck wild with it. Not and though it could be the greatest game that's ever come out, but it could also be just so over the top and over budget that he just destroys any partnership that he has with them.
Yeah, yeah. Gina said it was weird. I'll have to see more and no, not Norman Reedus' ass to fully make up my mind. But that's going to be part of it, isn't it, Gina? Let's be honest. I
It
mean,
would
either
be
way,
wouldn't be a Konami wouldn't be a at least he goes both ways when he does it. He over sexualizes at least the male and female characters.
yeah,
And it's
this
good
is
to see that like we're like at least the male character is being overly shown in this one as well.
we haven't got the mildly silent this time. See what we did there, folks. So yeah, that was Death Stranding. Uh, they also did a teaser for Spider-Man, which is which actually, to be fair, looks pretty cool.
Yeah, the swinging mechanics look freaking amazing in that game.
Using the
It's been
web
a
as well
while
as
since
catch the guy.
I just hope it just doesn't go the way of all the other superhero games that we've seen.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the first two Batmans were good, and then Arkham City. Well, we've already mentioned that earlier this week, haven't we, Gina?
Yeah.
Because someone's going, "Oh, the Batman reveal was really great." It's like, no, man, no, it's utter bollocks. The thing's horrible after like 10 hours using it when it's supposed to be a Batman game, not Batmobile Simulator 2014. So yeah, we got that. So, oh my god, Spider-Man, exactly. So yeah, we see so Spider-Man, and that looks like it's going to be a PS4 exclusive because Sony partially own it. I say partially
Right.
because they've given some rights away to Marvel. And that was pretty much it for Sony, which was a very good presser. What I will say then is over to you, James, because the Nintendo one is your bag. This
Zelda.
one. Yep.
It was Zelda. Yeah, Pokemon's coming out. So talked about Pokemon, but then it was Zelda. Zelda, Zelda. And boy did they pimp the hell out of this game.
It was like
I think
my
you
game.
yeah, it's a lot of it. It looks really awesome. It looks like it's an open world Zelda game where it looks like you're almost in like a Hyrule that's been kind of overgrown, turned wild, and completely just you have to go out, you get a pot lid, your weapons, you have to get them from your enemies, you have durability on weapons, and it was just insane. It looked great. Probably would buy a system for this. I wish I could. I'm really not doing it as much of a justice as I could. But it looks awesome. It looks very interesting how he has like his little iPad that he brings around and the kind of well, that's his kind of skill set and things. But it's beautiful looking. You can climb everything in that game.
Oh, that's a good question that Mutant J has brought up. Will it be the last game for the Wii U, do you think?
I think, yeah, that I can see this being a bridge title. It can be like it's on the Wii U, and then when NX comes out, it's one of the launch titles on NX.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that. I mean, it looks beautiful, and I can see where they're going with it. The fact that there's like hunting, you have to tame your own horses, getting weapons, getting stuff, and the fact that it's like a post-apocalyptic Hyrule, it just looks amazing.
Because it did look good from what I saw, and I'll be honest, I watched the first hour of this Treehouse because I was told that's what we're going to see. We're going to see Zelda, 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 and that was it. And then they start showing Pokemon, and Ed was like, "See, I told you they were going to show Pokemon." I'm like, "Well, I was lied to because they said this. They said this in the press that they were going to do this." Nintendo, damn you. Um, so yeah, I watched the Pokemon bit for an hour, and then they sort of started moping around, changing over people. We saw it in the background, like, yeah, I'm done now. That's me done with all this shit.
Yeah, then they just then they went to like here's Legend of Zelda, here's a dungeon, here's how we use some of the abilities, here's the open world. They just pimped it for a while, and I watched about 30 minutes of it, and I actually fell asleep during it.
I felt like it, and this was during the day for me.
Yeah,
Made
it
a
was like noon for me, and I'm like, because you're just watching like people try to play video games on air live in like front of a press crowd, and it was very awkward. And then like one of their mics isn't working, and they don't know that their mic's not working. Yeah, live shows. It's not like we don't have technical difficulties at all.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, not in post edit,
not in post edit. No, no, not in post edit.
because yeah, we can do that sort of stuff because that never happened. It was a light reflecting off a weather balloon, or just bad internet.
It just means editing. You're asking me to edit.
It's only about 5 minutes. You just go there, bye, goodbye. I'm awful. I know. It's like the talent.
262 videos, man.
It's the talent here being a diva. I understand that. All right.
Yep. And that's E3 in a nutshell.
Yeah. What? So, people in chat and James, what did you make of E3 this year?
Yeah, I guess I'll start. It's well, not that big. It wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, you saw kind of Microsoft try to go over the top, and and I think, they didn't have a bad conference. I just think that, it shows where their marketing strategy is going when they're trying to look at consoles. Sony had delivered a lot of big title games, but the thing is they said, here's a lot of cool games. Uh, like a traditional one. I think with the fracturing of most conferences, this was a lot of people who were like doing like hey, we'll tease this, we'll tease that, but come look at our individual show when we have our own thing, when we have our own presser, when we do our own con. Come look at that because people want to be able to have the spotlight to themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not wasn't huge. It wasn't like this was the E3 to watch. Um, but I'm happy it happened. I'm glad to see some of the games that are coming out.
Yeah, because I was mildly disappointed with it. I'll put it that way because I didn't think much of EA. I didn't think too much of Bethesda, to be fair. Quake and Prey, and some of it was good stuff. I thought Microsoft had a solid show.
Yeah.
Wasn't spectacular, but it was solid. I would say that Sony blew theirs away.
Yeah. When you lead with God of War,
they're going to be doing something special. I mean, Ubisoft was, was Ubisoft. It's like, yeah, that was an hour too long. So, and that's Aisha Taylor. That's all right. But in the chat, we have two responses so far. It's from Gino, who was surprised how much grabbed me, but then there was a lot of yeah. Me and Jay it was okay. And then Gino was there's too much teaser, although not enough actual showing of the game. Yep, that's fair.
It was burlesque. Fair. It was E3 the burlesque. All tease, no tell.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to see? No, you don't see it unless you get DLC pass. But that's probably what EA is all about. E3 is all about these days. Yeah, it's fair because E3 is having to evolve, especially because, as James said there, with companies wanting to do their own conferences, and you've got Gamescom, and you've got TGS, and you've got EGX, and you've got the you've got the PAX and all this. So it's fractions. So they have to do something. We did say a little bit about Mass Effect. We didn't see much again.
It was
We did.
more of like a developer just like, here are the people drawing things on Mass Effect. And then like them doing like teasers about how they like sent it's more like they Earth was dying, they sent arc ships to the Andromeda Galaxy, yada yada yada.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, here's a lady character as a bit. So other people on the internet go, wow, yeah. So, and the internet, as usual, blew up and complained because the internet. So, and Gina says, as I know, this is the first year she's really started taking notice of games from the beginning. Yeah. This has been the year she's actually started streaming as well. So there's a plug for you. Go to twitch.tv/Gina the Short, and also while we're here, follow Mutant J. He's on the Twitter as well. Which if you ask nicely, I'll get his Twitter for you. And she goes, so I don't know much input I can input. So, but yeah, so no, everybody's opinion is valid. We don't have to agree with it, but it's valid.
Exactly.
So on that note, I think we're done
Yeah.
for our first show.
It hasn't crashed. Hasn't done anything too bad.
Team Gina, she came in, didn't make it crash. So there we go. So yeah, so that was it. We hope you enjoyed it all here. We want to say though that the person we actually mention who won this. Let's do this. So there you go. J0Cool is Mutant J's Twitter handle. So if you want to go follow him on Twitter, you should do so. Right. So let's see the winner. If you're still in the chat, if you're not, come back and actually let us know, because then we'll hold on to it for you. So then you can actually let us know your bit. Cruising 13, if you're still on, send us a DM with your name and address. We will hold it for 2 weeks. We will also put in the chat when we do this next time about you winning this. It's here for you, or I can send you a private message saying you won, which actually I'll do that now.
The exciting thing of us doing technical background work.
Yep. Oh, James can talk to you. It's fine.
Me talk? Come on.
I know.
Yeah. Thanks, Gina. This is very interesting for us, trying to do it live. We're going to be feeling things out over the next couple weeks. We don't have really a time or a format down, but we figured doing one of these every once in a while is kind of an interesting thing. It lets us kind of dip our toes in the water and do something great. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, well, you get to stare at our ugly mugs for a little while. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Twitch is going to tell us to stop. And then we just have to make a new username. So, yeah, no, this is great. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning, but we got everything ironed out. I'm halfway tempted to press a button here to see if we can get the background working without crashing anything.
No.
No, don't do that. Don't try and crash it, James.
Yeah, no, we want to end on a high note, not
Not an oh shit. All right, well, while you're sending the PM, I guess we can end it here.
Yep, we can indeed. So I want to say thank you all so much for joining us on the new era for the double act. That is James and Will. If you want to find us at the moment, you can find us on a Facebook page, not a group, but a page. The game won't play itself. You can go to our Twitch, which you're already on, some of you, but if you're not and you're watching this on YouTube, you can go to TGWPIS, which is our twitch.tv. You can go to our YouTube channel, which is The Game Won't Play Itself. And if you want to talk to myself and James is at...
I'm at Spike2579 on Twitter.
And I am Lord Teamaker across the board on the Facebooks, on the Twitters, on the YouTube. You can find me there, but it's under the Game Won't Play itself. You can also find me on PSN. You can also find me on Xbox, and you
Yep.
can find me here on Twitch because I'm part of
So
Battle Cattle.
plenty of things to come in the future. We're going to see how this goes, and thank you all so very much. Have a wonderful evening.
The breaking news though, I've just cruising is not interested in Halo, so we have it open. So okay, breaking news. This goes back into the pot. You send us a question next week, or if you send us something cool next week, you'll get it. One of you will get it. How's that? Or
Works for me.
maybe, or maybe if no one wants to do that, our 50th follower will get it. How's that?
You really want to give away that Halo, don't you?
We are. Hey, oh, look, right. This is why. Where are you? Where are you? Let's put this over here while I'm padding out stuff by singing this really badly. Look, there's my copy. There's another one. So there you go. I've already got it.
So we'll figure that out tomorrow, next week.
Yep, we will figure that out either a question if people want to answer it, if people want to send us some cool stuff, or if we hit 50 followers on here. Okay, there you go. It's yours. Have it.
All right.